Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Do you have any tattoo? Would you like to have one? Oh my God, there is always a day that I never. Okay, it's fine. So, do you have a tattoo? Would you like to have one? So today I'm gonna have this amazing chat with Rayssa Teles. And if you are interested in having one, or if you are having trouble deciding, ask all the questions that you have prepared for us right after our podcast intro. Hello, Raissa. I
Hello.
swear it was not on purpose. It's like basically this one week I remember to mute my phone, the other I don't. Today it's one that I
Okay,
forgot.
no problem.
How are you?
I'm pretty fine, and you?
I'm okay. I'm just a bit disappointed. I would love to have the the while we do this.
Okay. Me either. I
The
love to get new tattoos.
Me too. By the way, before we dive into this, one thing that I thought while we were chatting, uh, as the artist, doing the thing, do you still get a bit nervous? Or nowadays it's just like another day in the park? Oh, what do you want? This is okay, let's go. Or no, you still feel a little bit nervous before you start doing some new work?
Oh, I'm an anxious person. I'm always nervous. I I sometimes it's hard to deal with feelings, but yes, I'm always nervous about it. But I think the art started to be a natural thing in my life. So
Mhm.
besides being nervous, it's natural. I think something that I'm already used to do it every day.
Nice. I imagine it must be like a huge release of dopamine when you finish because you have been doing this for hours, for example, sometimes, and then when it's finally over and the person says, "Oh my God, I love it," and say, "Fine," something like
Yeah.
that.
I'm always when I finish a tattoo, I always worried about the person reaction. Like if
Mm.
they will like the final result, if they will be like, okay, I didn't like so much. But
No.
always ends like the because in the process sometimes the person doesn't see what is going on and you are just
Mhm.
doing it, and at the end you can see on their face like, whoa, I really like it. I never had like a bad reaction, I guess, or the person never told me at least. But it's amazing to see in the person's face the reaction in
Yeah.
live, like, oh, I really enjoyed the tattoo. I think you know this feeling, right? You have
Yeah.
tattoos.
Yeah, it would be very awkward. Like right after you finish oh, that's it, and then the person looks and like, I loved it. And then is
Yes.
he crying because he hurts, or is it because he's not? Yeah, yeah. Okay, but before we go there, shout out to everybody watching us. Okay, please introduce yourself to us, Raissa. Where are you from? What do you do?
All right. My name is Rayssa, as you said. I'm 23, almost 24 years old. I will be 24 next week. And I'm
Yay!
from
Congratulations in
Thank
advance. I know it
you.
doesn't count, but anyways.
Yes, okay, doesn't matter. I'm from Goiânia, Goiás. I was born here and I live here nowadays. But I really live it in some other states too.
Mhm.
And I currently study finishing my college university course. I study visual arts besides being
Ah.
an English teacher too. So I have like two type of um personalities. Not, but I stick them together sometimes. It's funny.
Okay, that would be interesting too, because the teacher in you can bring up the artist in you, and when you are tattooing, you can bring the teacher to shut the fuck up, something
Yes.
like that. Nice,
Yes,
nice.
right.
Uh, you mean visual art? So was there when your interest in tattoos started, or was way before you enter at
I
university?
was way before. I always loved the aesthetic of tattoos on someone's body, like a body full of tattoos. When I was a teenager, but I didn't have age to do tattoos. And then when I turned 18, the first thing that I did was a tattoo. So before studying or working with tattoo, I always enjoyed the to have ones, to have tattoos either. And when I started to study art deeper at university, I started to see another way, like tattoo, that doing tattoos could be possible too, not only have one. And then I started to search about it. I started to get more interest in, and then I decided to buy my first tattoo kit. We can say it's like
Okay.
a beginner kit that you buy to practice. And and then I enjoy it a lot. We at the beginning we practice with fake skin. We do some
Mhm.
types of fake skin to tattoo.
Or with your friends after they drink. I'm
Or
joking.
with my friends that I use it a lot of friends as my experiment. Poor
This
friends
is
they
really
have.
cool if they are easygoing because people imagine free
Yeah.
tattoo. What a dork. This would cost like $300. And then you say, she doesn't know I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. My first tattoos on real people was a disaster. I
It
have
was
to
like those
say
the
it.
lie on the internet, like
Yes. No, not about like to be so distorted, but about the because the skin have three type of levels of skin, and you need to
Mm.
achieve the right one, that is the second one. If you achieve
Ah.
the if you go deeper, you can like hurt the skin, you can do some
Mhm.
damage on the person's skin. And then if you do on the two in the first
Superficially.
level, so too superficially, the tattoo probably will disappear in some years.
Also.
Ah, yes. So you need to have like this type of knowledge. So at the beginning, I didn't have this type of knowledge. Like, you were more about this. I hurt someone's people's skin, unfortunately.
No,
Sorry,
I thought he would
friends.
say, I thought he would say something like, so my very first tattoos, they all vanished already, they were, but it was the opposite,
No,
they're
but
still
you know what?
there.
The first tattoo that I did on a real person was on myself.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
I did on my right leg,
Mhm.
and the tattoo was perfect. It and is perfect till nowadays. I don't know what it happens, but when I
Self-care.
yes, when I started to tattoo other people, I don't know if I was nervous, if I was like, oh, responsibility, I'm tattooing another person. Because if it
Yeah.
was with myself, okay, it's on me.
It's a
But
story, right? Oh, I decided to
yeah,
do. It's not the way I want, but it's fine. Yeah.
yes, but yes, you got it.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be a good idea for me because I would probably get carried away. It would be like, let's start here and then
Oh, you talking about friends, and I remember that I have a friend that I did 17 tattoos on her as
his name
like
is
a
Whindersson Nunes.
yeah,
Shut up, Jim.
almost. And like I think I always joke that she's my photo album that I can show people, like, oh, look at this tattoo that I made it. I always tell this joke.
Ah, but no, that's a nice. What's her name?
It's Luna.
Luna. Shout out to you, Luna. Thanks for being a
There's a
good friend.
picture. There's a picture of her on my Instagram showing like the tattoos that I made.
Ah, that's cool. That's very nice, actually. That's very nice because
Yes.
it also creates a bond and the story behind it. Okay,
Yes.
but before we dive this, tell me a little bit more about your course there, because you mentioned is uh, what's the name in English of xilogravura? Is
Is
wood art?
woodcut. Woodcut.
Woodcut, woodcut. Okay.
Yes.
And was about xilogravura specifically. How did you know about it? Where did you learn?
Um, I used to know a little bit about it before starting the course. When I
Mm-hmm.
used to live in São Paulo, I used to go to many museums and expositions, and I saw many xilogravura expositions in São Paulo. And I
Mm.
started to, and then we know that in the northeast of the country we have the cordel, and it's like something cultural in Brazil. So I already knew about it, but I didn't know how to make it. And then at university we had a course called gravura, like is the basic name, or
Mm-hmm.
and then there we learned how to engrave on wood, on rubber, on metal, and some types of rocks too. But the most interesting one, in my opinion, was the xilogravura or the woodcut, that it's usually made on wood, but we can also do on rubber too. So it depends on the material. And then we learn how to make it. And at the university, you learn the basic thing. And if you want to go deeper, you go by yourself. So I decided to go
Mm.
by myself and learn some other techniques. I bought some tools to make it at home, and I started doing and practicing. And then I just find myself in this type of art. Like it's one of the arts that I like to produce. And I just uh, decided to do this with tattoo and to bring this to tattoo too, to have something unique and different.
Nice. You brought two nice words together. And when you are, what are the things that you normally draw about? It's like I don't know. And you mentioned about animals when we were talking about tattoos specifically, but it goes the same way, or I don't know, places. What are the
Mm,
things that you like to craft?
I love to craft animals, and animals, flowers, and hearts. Hearts are my favorite ones. I have
Mm.
many type of hearts and different ones. And animals too, like snakes, the wolf guará, or some type of fruits too, some typical fruits from Brazil. And I love to bring typical things from my culture and my country too. You know, the Brazilian culture. I love Brazil.
Mm.
So I like to bring this to my artworks too. But usually always goes around animals and fruits and hearts.
Yeah, me too. It's as I told you before, I really like skulls. And I thought it was just some kid fixation because I like a terror movies and the Iron Maiden covers. The metal band.
Yeah,
I really
nice.
like yeah, I really like Edge when I saw the covers. And then I started to like pirate moves and this type of things. So I always had this thing, oh, I like skulls, and people, oh man, it has an association with death and something like that. Eventually I started to study stoicism. That is a philosophical view that is like, remember, one day we are all going to die, and enjoy. Don't get frustrated, overly frustrated with things you don't control. Their symbol is a skull, and then I said, okay, that's it. Yeah,
I
and
love skulls.
that was, yeah, and that was my first one. The only bummer thing, Raissa, is my first tattoo. I imagine I'm gonna choose a place that is gonna be annoying, so I'm gonna start with a very annoying one, and then that was my logic. I don't know, it's flawed, but that was what I thought. And then I thought the next ones that I have are going to be more easygoing. So okay, so I chose the middle of my back, and it's like this. The tattoo.
Oh, big.
And yeah, and it was tough. I had this friend, shout out to you, Victor. He used to work with me. One day I said, oh man, can you do me a solid? And I said, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" And I just had that lotion, that you have to put. Can you
Mm,
just, spread this all over my back? So, oh my, come on,
I
uh,
got it.
Yeah, yeah.
I do the opposite. I always recommend people to start with easy going places. If it's your first tattoo, do like a on your arm or on a place that it will be less painful. You are like hardcore.
But it could have been worse. It could have been on my ribs or my shin. I guess these places are terrible too because of the bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next to
But
your knees too, it's terrible.
yeah. But the second one was walk in the park. I almost slept when the wolf that I have here was in my arm, so shoulder, so it was fine. But all right, let's go back a few steps. You mentioned a few times that you have been here in São Paulo, but have you lived here for a while? Because you told me you're from Goiânia, right?
Yes, I'm from Goiânia, but I went to São Paulo. I guess was in 2020 first, maybe. I went to São Paulo to study. Actually, I
Mm,
started art history before doing visual arts, and I lived in São Paulo for 2 years and a half, maybe. But then was really tough to live in São Paulo because I was not so used to the city, the big city, because I used to live in the
mm,
capital. I live in a big city. I live in a capital too, but Goiânia is a type of capital that it's really quiet and nice, and
mm.
you
You can say we won't feel offended. People
yeah,
from São Paulo tend to be more cold. Because I'll be
yes,
honest, the fame that people from Goiânia have is similar to the fame that people from Minas have. They are like
yes.
easygoing, warm.
Mhm.
In São Paulo, we are always on a rush. Not here in Campinas. In Campinas, we are just rednecks in a big city. So,
Okay,
yeah.
just living next to São Paulo.
Yeah,
Yes,
some are snob, like, oh, because we live in a capital. Come on, man. We say
yes.
porta aberta. Don't do that. Yeah.
Yes, like you said, it was really tough because people in São Paulo are very cold sometimes, and it was hard to make friends because
Mm,
I live in São Paulo and I didn't have family there. I didn't have like family
mm,
there or friends or any type of um things. And then it was hard at the beginning. I started to do some colleagues, but it's not like a friend that you can count on. And
mm.
for me, that was the hardest part. And the other hardest part is like I think the city has a type of timing that it's always on a rush. Like you
Oh,
are
yeah, definitely.
always on a rush for everything. Everything is far from your house. You take a lot of time to arrive places. Comparing to my city, it's a little bit more dangerous. And it was hard for me to get used to. I love São Paulo. I love the vibe
Mm,
of the city. I love the city has an artistic vibe. I used to
mm-hmm.
love to visit museums. Like on my weekends, I always used to go to museums and visit cultural places. That's something that I miss a lot from São Paulo. But I love my city, Goiânia, because here is really calm and we can have a
Uh,
better quality of life.
I understand you completely. There was a time that I almost moved there. I was going, me and some friends, we were going a lot to São Paulo to research for a place to open a business, stuff like that. And in my head, I was slowly adapted. In my head, like, okay, we're gonna do this, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, okay, places to go, things to do. If I want to have a temaki at 4 a.m. here, I can because a lot of
Yeah.
open place. But then, for example, in Campinas, if you are downtown, is given the proportions, but is a very busy traffic as well. You won't miss this part of São Paulo. But
Mhm.
depending where you are in Campinas, you'll see like a bunch of cows walking, behind your house.
Yes,
So,
it's the same
yeah.
here. People used to
Yeah.
say that here is like a big farm. Or literally, next to my house, I have some cows.
You know. So and this is kind of cool with this contrast,
Yes, yeah,
So
that's nice.
and my family and friends, the closest ones, are also here, so I get it. But okay, in terms of adaptation, it was a bit of a culture shock. But what can people expect? Okay, from Goiânia if they want to go there to visit or to chill? Where would you recommend them to go and what to do?
Oh, here in Goiânia, we have a lot of green places. We have many parks around Goiânia. We have like a nature vibe. If you like nature, you probably will like Goiânia. We have some cities around Goiânia that are very famous, like Pirinópolis, Rio Quente. I don't know if you already heard about it, but they are kind of famous because we have some type of natural landscapes like waterfalls or some term lakes, some type of hot lakes and term lakes. You know, you have
Okay.
already heard about it. It's in
I think I went. Okay, I am every episode now. I say something really off topic. No, last one
no
was
problem.
Dostoevsky that I Crime and Punishment, I Pride and Punishment, Superman movie. Okay, is Caldas Novas in Goiânia?
Yes,
I have been there. I got. I
right.
was. I was 10 years old then. The thermal waters. I
Ooh,
remember this now.
yes,
Like
it's
this hot
awesome.
pools, right?
Yes, hot pools. I think my entire childhood was going to Caldas Novas. It's
Nice.
amazing, and it's an amazing place. Some people from around Brazil go to Caldas Novas because of the thermal waters, the thermal lakes, and etc. And if you like it, if you like nature, I think it's a best type of travel. Even in Goiânia, we have some type of the food here is amazing. The
Nice.
Goianian food, it's similar to the Minas Gerais food. We have like a similar type of food for food taste, we could say. Pamonha is amazing. If you come to Goiânia, you need to try
Nice. That's nice.
pamonha. And then we have other of other type of things too. But if you like a calm trip or nature, Goiânia is a good place to visit, or
Nice.
Caldas Novas.
Comparing the aspects that you have in common, Raissa, what about the tattoo scenario in Goiânia? What are the differences comparing to São Paulo? I don't know, the themes that the studios normally
Mhm.
tattoo or the public itself, or it's not that different. How did
Oh,
you notice this?
it's really different. I could say that Goiânia has a cultural scenario, but it's still growing comparing to São Paulo. So as
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm the only person in my city that do Shilo tattoo or xilogravura
Mm-hmm.
tattoo. So here in Goiânia, we have more the more famous styles like fine line or realism or black work. So most of the studios that I see or the tattoo artists that I see usually work with this, but we have some ones that have some different styles too. I'm not generalizing, but comparing to São Paulo, I can notice this that São Paulo has like um a bigger lack of possibilities and styles. Sometimes the styles are personal styles from the tattoo artist, like something that we can't
Ah,
see in another place. And as I was saying to you, the tattoo artists that I know that tattoo in my style, they are from São Paulo and they
good
work
for
in
you
São
then. No
Paulo.
competition.
Ah, yes, in a way it's good, but in another way, the people here are not used to this style
Okay.
because they are
Mm.
more conservatory, I could say this, maybe.
Okay.
Like it's something for my state. And it's something that I sometimes if you don't believe in yourself or don't believe in your work, it can make you feel kind of um sometimes I already stop to think and oh, should I stop? Should I change my style? Should I do the conventional to have more
Mm.
clients? But I believe in my style and I believe that I can grow on it or show people different type of arts or tattoo arts. And I think it's that like the difference between the
Mm.
cities.
You know the secret? The
Mm.
secret is Luna.
Ah, Luna.
You know, that's
Kisses,
this
Luna.
that's a secret, you know, like You want to know my work? I just
Show
do this.
Luna.
Yeah.
Yes, every time that someone asks her, "Oh, I like your tattoos. Who did it?" and she, "Oh, look at her, my tattoo artist." I love her. Kisses, Luna.
Oh, that's a good strategy.
Yes.
Let me. The thing you told me, Raissa, about no, nobody knows this is so much. It reminded me of a story, but in
Wait,
a minute.
sorry.
Let me take a look at the chat and then okay, it's a clickbait, so people will still be paying attention
Mm.
here. Claudio asking here, shout out to Christian, Simone. Claudio asked, oh, what's the weirdest tattoo you've ever had to do on someone?
I already stopped to think about it, but I think I never had like a something so weird. Maybe a place sometimes, like it's like a difficult place to tattoo, a strange place to
Mm.
tattoo, like on the head. Like
Oh, head.
it's painful. Yes, it's very painful. But I never had like a for example, a weird draw, for example. I guess
Sorry,
so.
I'm laughing with respect because I imagine like a guy
Yes.
going about and then he says, "Could you tattoo the very small dots, a lot of small dots here?"
Oh, yes,
And then
it
it's
would be strange.
dots. Yeah, it's a type of art. And like, anyways,
Yes, it would be very strange. Um, I don't know. I think I don't have an answer to this. I not yet, not yet, but everything
okay,
can happen in the
exactly.
tattoo area.
And was there ever, you don't have to say the name, of course, but a very awkward client, for example, the person started to cry, or a big, strong man that when you started tattoo, like, oh, wait. I don't know.
Let me think. I don't have like a good memory, but oh yes, with Luna. I will say her name because she's my friend.
Okay.
I already started to tell her once on near from when I said that near from the knee is very painful.
Mm-hmm.
She
Okay,
started
like
to crying.
starting on your thigh and going down.
Yes, it's like above your knee.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very painful area, and she started to cry a lot and almost to faint in front of me. And I was like, "Oh my God, we need to stop. I won't make this tattoo because you probably will faint." And I don't, and I, and then I think we took 3 weeks to finish the tattoo, like
3 weeks.
yes, like doing step by step, like line piece by piece of the tattoo, and was like was crazy. She's crazy because everything that I ask her, she's like, "Okay, I'm doing." But sometimes some parts of the body are very sensible, and there are some
Mhm.
people that cries. Yes, sometimes.
By everyone watching us, when she said 3 weeks, they slept, they went back home, and then they continued on the following day. Okay.
Yes. Not
3 weeks,
okay.
like.
Good explanation.
Christian asking here, love her work. I hope I get the chance to have that art tattooed on me someday. Okay, shout out to you, Christian. Simone said here, pretty girl, right now I'm in Minas, on the border with Goiás, eating galinhada with
Oh, nice.
pequi. In English is chicken stew rice. Nice. Oh, it's delicious, by the way.
Oh,
It's
have you
very
already
nice.
tried it?
Yes, my mother-in-law made one that
Nice.
was very nice. I've never eaten pequi before. I had no idea what was that. Whenever somebody offers me food, I just ask like an overall description of it because, for
Mm-hmm.
example, my threshold is very broad. But for example, why are you laughing? It's because of buchada de bode and dobradinha is something that I have a problem, you know.
I
But then it's
understand.
yes. Oh no, it's like this. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
No problem. Uh, okay, Edson, what happened to the? What the hell is? I have no idea what they're talking about. What happened to the Cesium 137 in
Oh,
Goiânia?
you don't know about the cesium?
I don't know. I don't
Oh, it's
know.
like a historical thing in Goiânia. Was like actually a big disaster that happened here some, I think, 30 years ago. You can search about it, but it's a disaster that happened
I
here with,
wasn't born. I was 10 years old already.
yeah. It was a radioactive disaster.
Really?
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. And people sometimes joke around this, but it's,
Ah, I understand where you
yes.
guys are going. These guys are just, oh, it's like a Chernobyl version of, okay, something like,
Yes, it's like Chernobyl version, but from
come
Goiás.
on. Not that funny, just a little bit. But
Yes.
it was more fun because I had no idea what we were talking about. So I
If you
just said,
are from
oh, yeah.
Goiânia, you are able to make jokes with this. If you are not, you can't.
Okay, so I will remain serious now. Okay, she's laughing probably about that. Okay. All right, so let's go back a few steps, Raissa. When you started tattooing, you mentioned you bought like a basic kit.
Mhm.
What's up with that? What is inside this basic tattoo kit? Like only lines or drawing sticks, simple stuff, or how does it work?
The first thing is the machine, the tattoo machine. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if you buy, depending on the how much money you put on your kits. So we have
Mm-hmm.
many type of kits, but the first thing is like the tattoo machine, and then it comes with the ink that we use for tattooing. Usually in these
Mm-hmm.
kits, they are for practicing, so it's not like a so high quality ink.
Oh,
uh
so it's for practice. Don't
yes,
tattoo
it's
your
for
little friends with
practicing
those.
on fake skin only, or maybe some tattooers use some pork skin, like pig,
Mm.
with like a leg, or the some
Then
parts
you
of the
can have a
head.
very stylish torresmo after that.
Yes. And then you can make
Put it on
torresmo
an air
after.
fryer.
You will have like a tattoo with torresmo, right? And then it comes with some needles. Some you can buy like a complete kit, or you can buy the things separately. But when I started, I didn't know like anything about it, so I prefer to
Mm.
buy a kit, a complete kit. And I still have this kit because it's something
Oh,
nostalgic
nice.
to me. Like I keep the kit with me because really, I think it was the beginning, and it's good to remember the beginning sometimes, and
No,
where you
definitely.
started. Yes, it's like you remember where you started and where you are right now, so you have like these memories and these nostalgic things, and sometimes it's a type of motivation too.
Exactly. Like when you said, the beginning of a new activity we start is tough, right? So you remember, oh, the first ones that I started doing, I had such a difficult times doing that, and now you see, like, okay, like you said, you still get a little bit nervous, but you do this so often that it goes, like smoothly.
Mhm.
Nice. Tell me a little bit about the profile of people. Like what are the styles that how many different people go to have a tattoo? Like you have people that decide on the spot. You have people that I don't know. They said, do whatever you want, or like do this, and then you start. No, let's change something. I don't know.
Yes, my tattoo style has a really specific type of public.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are artistic, or has a artistic vibe, artistic feeling. I already tattooed a lot of people from my university, from
Nice.
the art areas. Even my professor, I already tattooed my
Oh, that's cool.
professor. Yes,
Cool.
they he one day saw Luna, and then asking her, and then she told him that was me, and then he said, "Oh, I want to have a tattoo with you." And then most of the public that tattoo with me usually already have tattoos, or
Okay.
when it's the first tattoo, they are already very decided about the drawing or the place. I usually help them with the place, because sometimes we have better we have draws that are better in some places, or are better in another places, because of the body's anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
But I love my public, actually, my tattoo public, and I prefer like these because I think they understand my art. You know what I mean? Like they understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing, because it's very tough when someone just criticize your art because it's different from the usual things that we see on Pinterest, for example, or on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I already was criticized because of my art. Some people said, "Oh, this line it's very like a out of the place. Oh, this trace is very thick or bold. You should," and
Mm-hmm.
it's part of my art. So my public usually are very decided about it because they know the type of work, or when they don't know, they got interest in, and I explain to them how does the art work, or how does the xilogravura work, or the woodcut works. So usually it's like this.
No, I guess it's a question of being open-minded. For example, if the person likes art and sees Van Gogh for the first time, the person will not say, "Oh, the outline is grotesque or is very different from the pattern of the." That's why he's who he is, because it was different and it
Yes.
was unique, you know.
Yes. I think art is art. Each one has your way to express yourself, and we can't put art in a box. I think that's the thing. We can't like define, oh, tattoo is this. No, can be other things too, not only the usual thing that we see on nowadays.
Makes sense. There is a very interesting question here. How is your creation process, Haisa?
My creation process, depending on if I'm creating some flash tattoos, like ready-made tattoos, I usually
Mm-hmm.
create based on my process that I'm taking that time. So for example, if I'm more into drawing animals, I will probably do more flash about animals. And then I usually do a type of first draw, and as a woodcut, I pass the first draw to the rubber or the wood, and then I engrave it. And after that, I print it on a paper, and then I take I scan the paper to have the image to post online, to have the digital image. But
Mm-hmm.
if a person comes to me and say, "Oh, I want to do Frida Kahlo in a xilogravura style," and I will do Frida Kahlo on xilogravura style. So depends if I have something like an idea, already made idea from someone, or if it's like my own process.
Nice. Um, Now we were discussing a little bit about the most recommendable places to start or tattoos to do. Like you said, normally you wouldn't recommend somebody to start with their back. So if there is someone that wants to start doing a tattoo, is a bit indecisive, what would you recommend? What would be a safe area to go in terms of, okay, this is a very easygoing place to do. You will be there for, I don't know, for a few hours and then that's it.
Always start with the arm. I think the upper part of the arm is a good place to start because the down part usually it's more sensible because this is not so exposed to the sun, so the skin is a little bit thin. But the upper part, the skin is a little bit thicker because of the sun exposition. So it's a place to start talking about painful, and about like it's a nice place because you can show your tattoo to everyone. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
hidden. Oh, I did my first tattoo, and on the arm, I think it's a best place to start with tattoos.
All right. Okay, how many tattoos do you guys think that she has?
Nice question.
Okay, I'll give you guys 5 minutes. You can try on the chat here. Okay. Uh, five, more than 10.
I will
More
show a
than
little bit of my
25?
arm.
Careful, careful. Spoilers
Careful.
are.
It's not possible to count.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. But you know, aha, more than five. Definitely that one. Okay.
Imagine
Um,
if I have none, like non tattoos. I'm a
or
tattoo
but like
artist.
say, oh no, I just have this one, but it's fake. You know,
Ah, okay.
I think it's beautiful, but on everybody else. You know, not on
Not on
myself.
me. Yes.
Sad, no tattoo artist ever. You know. Yeah. Okay. Now there is an interesting story that you told me. Actually, almost by accident, I was telling you that my parents they were very conservatives, you know, about me having a tattoo because of the stigma that it used to be related to. You know, nowadays everybody has a tattoo. You know, maybe 40 years ago, like I said, you should see a guy with a tattoo like an anchor. He goes, "Oh my God, it's a badass guy," something like that. Today it's just a random person, or maybe the guy has a burger shop, you know, something like
Mm,
this.
nice.
Yeah,
Or
or
is a
yeah, or
doctor, a lawyer.
yeah, it could be anything, literally anything. That's actually a very nice campaign about this. It gets has this doctor, you know, he's dressed like a doctor, so all in white, like that, with his doctor's apron, you know.
Mhm.
And on the other picture, the same guy with his arms are exposed and full, you know, completely full with
Yes.
tattoos, and it was very interesting. But how was the relation you had with your parents, Haisa, before you started and then after some time?
I think at the beginning, you know the story like, oh, it's okay on others, but not on you,
Oh,
not
yeah,
on
yeah.
your kid.
You are not everyone else.
Yes, you are not everyone. It's like a typical mom sentence. But when I was a very authentic teenager, and I used to dye my hair colorful and etc. So when I started to talk with my parents about tattoos, like, oh, I want to have a tattoo, I want to do my first tattoo, and they were like, no, you don't want it. And I was like, yes, I do. Because
You are
they was,
going to regret.
yes, they used to have a type of close-minded about it. And
Mhm.
then I convinced then when I turned 18, like, okay, I will do like a little one on a hided spot. I did it on my neck, so it's like a hided spot. I can hide with my hair and etc. And they were okay, but only one. You can't do any other ones.
I'll have
And
only
then,
one on my neck.
oh, can I say how many tattoos I have nowadays?
Wait,
Did
wait, wait, wait,
someone
not yet.
set?
Not
Okay,
yet, not
okay,
yet.
okay.
Here.
And then I started doing one by another one and another one. And
Some people
even,
are counting.
yes. And I even became a tattoo artist. And look this. They have tattoos now, my parents. I did a tattoo on my mother. My mother actually have three tattoos, I guess. And she's asking me for another one. And I was like,
Oh, it's always like this.
oh. So things changed because they were like really reluctant about it at the beginning, in the beginning. And nowadays they accepted that I'm like how can I say, a type of a painting movement, because I say that it's a type of body art. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they understand this, right? They understand this, that I think it's authentic. It's just to be yourself, and they nowadays they accept.
Yeah, I guess we can call them. You are my walking canvas. You know. Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's nice. Okay, let me see. Somebody said 14. Close enough? No.
No.
No. Somebody said 200. What the hell? No, I'm joking.
Two two
No, no,
hundred.
no,
Oh
I'm
God.
joking. I'm joking. There is a question from Michael here or Michelle. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, man. Why circle tattoo is difficult?
A lot. To do a perfect circle is difficult, even if you are drawing on a piece of paper. Imagine on
You get a
someone's
compass.
body. Yes. Drawing circles are difficult in any type of place, any type of piece of paper or skin you draw. It's hard because you need to be very symmetric with the circle.
Mhm. There is a one from Simone here. We were mentioning some tattoos here that is not a good idea because they could be associated with crime or something like this. Let me see. Can I read this one? Yes. Okay. All right. My American son-in-law has a clown tattooed on his neck. He came to spend on his back. Yeah, on his back. Okay, at least he can hide it, you know. But he likes to walk shirtless around. No.
Yeah.
He came to spend New Year's Eve in Rio with my daughter and took his his shirt on the, he took his shirt off on the beach.
Hmm.
People yell at him not to take off his shirt. His tattoo was dangerous. Yes, especially if he's a group
Mm,
of police officers.
yes. We have this stigma around some tattoos in Brazil because they represent some type of organizations or some type
Mm,
of crimes. This was a very old debate, actually. Nowadays, it's we have like a lot of conversations around this, but I guess it's a very type of it's a very specific type of tattoo that
mm.
we are talking
It's
about.
not all clowns, right? It has to be a certain
Yes,
style. Yeah.
yes. It's not like oh, if you do a cartoon clown on your head, you no. It's a specific type of clown or a specific type of animal or position of animal. We have like,
Mm,
oh, if you do a carp upside down, means something. If you do a carp like so, something like this. But
mm.
yes, can be it's a tough conversation actually to talk about this,
Yeah,
but we
because
have this.
and I guess what we were just saying that how common tattoos are today. It's not like you have a tattoo. Oh my God, you're a member of a gang or something like this.
Mhm.
But that doesn't eliminate that in some specific circles they still use as I don't know. I'll
Yes.
extrapolate. Imagine like a yakuza guy, for example, but it's a
Yes.
very unique thing, you know.
Yes, you brought a topic that it's interesting. We talking about in Japan, we have
Hmm.
the Yakuza that it's like a cultural thing, have like a very long story around this, but tattoos in Japan are sometimes are related to Yakuza that has not a very good meaning. So yes, it's I think it's the same in Brazil.
Okay, well, now I can bring up a very polemic topic because I like polemic, especially because we are live. All right.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. First, before the polemic thing, okay, nobody got the right number. How many tattoos, if you don't mind, of course, can you show some of them? How many
I
tattoos
think
do you
in
have?
my arm I have just a few, but
Okay.
I have 27 tattoos.
27. And
Yes.
the ones on your left arm, you done it all of them yourself? Yeah.
Not all of them, but the I think just this one, these little ones right
Nice.
here. But the ones on my legs that it's like an easier place to do, it was all myself. And on my right arm, n- n- I think any tattoo was me actually because it's hard to do on my right arm because I use my right hand.
Yeah. Okay. The polemic question is, okay, is that a good idea to tattoo the name of your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Or
No.
that was very fast, guys. She didn't even
No,
flinch. It was very. She knows the
absolutely not.
stories. Okay,
Absolutely
tell us
not.
about it, Hayes. Tell us
Um,
about it.
you know, you will do something permanent on your skin that you don't know that in real life
But
will
I
be
love her. She's
permanent.
perfect.
Okay, if you have money to remove it in the future, just do it. But if someone comes to me and say, "Oh, can you do my name, the name of my girlfriend or boyfriend?" I will say no.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
don't
God, I
do.
love your work ethics. That's,
Yes.
uh,
I
that's
probably will
nice.
say, sorry, I won't participate on this.
Oh,
Because everything
well, they
can
can.
happen.
I saw the laziest and with a shit out of luck guy once. Tattoo. It was like this. Was named for. I'll get. It's not. Those are not the real names. Okay, but imagine it was something like Carol, and then like and then like Camila, and then like he did like
Oh,
that.
if I was the actual girlfriend, I would look at this and say, "What? What the hell is this?" It's like, no.
That was the laser. But I
Yes.
guess can't we find like a middle ground for this? Imagine the person wants to tattoo the name of the person. I guess depends on the name. For example, imagine the name of the person is Julia, and then they
Uh-huh.
break up. You just write Anna and Los Hermanos here, and that's fine.
Ah, good, nice. If you can find, oh, you can cover with another tattoo. We have this type of
Or
covering. What?
if you date a Julia and you break up, you just need to find a Juliana after
Oh
that.
God.
You're gonna say someone.
And change it to Juliana.
The
Nice.
guy just goes there. Can you please add Anna there? And there is a different artist, so imagine the like the
Yes.
font is very different.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess
Nice.
it's a bad idea. Okay.
It's a nice idea,
Well,
actually.
or maybe you can try a common symbol. They're laughing here now,
Or you can
because
cover with another tattoo, with a
yeah,
drop,
yeah.
or people usually do this actually
Okay,
when they.
so if you want to tattoo the name of someone, do in a very removable, changeable way, even if you think your love shall last forever.
Yes. Yes. I wouldn't
Okay,
recommend.
okay, nice. I wanted to ask this. Thank you for being here, by the way. Now, you mentioned that your mom has three tattoos. What were the things that she chose to tattoo?
Um, the first thing that she tattooed was I mention that my parents are Christians, religious, or no?
Oh, you mentioned but not specific. That's nice.
Yes. She did a lion with the name Jesus on the side. She did a cross. I did a cross
Hmm.
on her leg, and some flowers too. And she wants to do some butterflies on her back. It's the next tattoo.
That's
It's the
very
next tattoo
nice.
that
That's
she wants.
very nice.
Yes.
That's very nice. It's gonna be a badass, stylish mom. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, but how do you see the tattoo industry changing over the years, or what do you expect to see? You mentioned a trend already, like you said in São Paulo, you have certain trends, different ones there in Goiânia, but overall, what do you expect to see? I don't know, more 3D tattoos coming. Once I thought it would be a thing. I saw those like a black art thing.
Mhm.
Only the tattoo only shows up with a specific lighting. I said, oh, that's interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah, I already saw this. It's um the some tattoo artists were complaining about this. They were saying that the area were saturated in a way that
Oh.
many people started to tattooing. But I can see that even day by day, we can see tattoo artists creating their own style. Like we have like old school tattoos, realist tattoos, or fine line tattoos, but they are like giving their touch on the
Mm-hmm.
style or created like new styles that never existed or were new in Brazil, for example. And I can see this in here in Goiânia, for example. I have many friends that have like such a type of creativity that we see. Oh God, it's like a real it's like art. I could define as art. I see the tattoo area is becoming art because as I said some years ago, some in the old was like kind of marginalized, and nowadays it's becoming like recognized in the art area. So we now we use terms like art tattoo, tattoo artist, or like it's an artwork. It's not like only a tattoo is an artwork. So I think day by day it's being recognized by not by the public that like tattoos, but the public that doesn't, the public that like don't even like tattoos or don't have tattoos. So I see this, and this is growing. Even in my city, I can notice this.
Yeah, is now you have all types of people and publics and niches. So you have, for example, people with gaming, tattoos, the ones that like all these styles that you are mentioned. But this is something very positive, Raissa, because even if they say, oh, the marketing is saturated, there are too many studios and people, so they will have to recover to something different. So maybe, like you said, they're creating their own styles. And the story that I mentioned, I want to wrap this episode with the story that I told you. Is a very simple story. It's like this: very this new salesman goes to his work, and then his boss says, "Oh, I want you to go to this city and start selling our shoes there." And he was the best salesman. Everybody loved him, a lot of success. Then he goes there and he noticed that nobody wears shoes in these places. And then he goes back to this guy and said, "Boss, it's not gonna work. Nobody wears shoes there." And he said, "Oh, nobody wears shoes. Yeah, nobody. It's not a thing there." Then he said, "Oh, okay, but let me try something." Then he asked to this new salesman, very motivated, eager to start, says, I want you to sell shoes in this place. Sends him to the same place. He goes there and he notices, oh my God, nobody wears shoes here. He goes back and says, boss, I want double, triple the production. You will not believe. Nobody wears shoes in that place. We're gonna sell all of them to these people.
Mhm.
So what do I want to tell you with this is, like you said, people don't know this style yet. Like you said, you trust your work, you have your friends with a billion tattoos already, Luna. It's just a matter of time and people getting to know, and then eventually
Yes.
everybody's going to be wearing shoes too.
Yes. I think you need to believe in yourself and believe in what you do. If you believe, I think it's enough. You need to believe. Just this.
Yeah. And a nice feedback that you said that people that saw her, like your teacher and friends, oh, I like this, it was her. And then they became your clients too,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Nice.
Yes.
Hi, Sub. Unfortunately, we are running out of time.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
it
a
was
nice
fast, but
conversation. Yes.
yeah, I loved it. Next time you have to be here. I don't know how in the studio, and then you can do we can do this live. That would be
Yes, we
nice.
can do a live tattoo, a tattooing live, of
Not
course.
not on my neck or my face though. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, if you okay. If are you courageous?
Yeah. That's. If I cry live, is even funnier. Something like that happens
Yes,
would be funny.
we can became
Yeah.
viral
Yeah.
like a
So,
meme.
final message to everyone watching us.
Um, I think we have pros to make tattoos because you can high your self-esteem, you can be happier sometimes with yourself, and the cons we don't have it, okay, because it's a type of art and it's very beautiful. So if you are making indecisive to make tattoos, think about it because probably you won't regret it, okay? If so, think a little bit more because it's a permanent thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Everyone watching us here for your messages too. Shout out to everybody here. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a message. This episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow, and hope to see you next week on our next episode of Talking Times. Bye bye.